Listen, I don't know about you, but I started a business so I could do this. Travel, be with friends, be with family, create memories. I didn't do it to sit at the computer all day. I didn't do it so that I could just be in countless emails and Zoom meetings. I did it to create opportunities for myself and opportunities for others. So listen, if that's something that interests you, enjoying time with your friends, being out and about, definitely drop by Erica Williams' Classy Climb blog. Check out the YouTube channel. We've got over 2,000 videos of free information that's actually changed people's lives. People actually post their new jobs, their new careers, their new businesses all the time over at the channel. What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Drop a 1 in the comments if you can hear me, if you can see me. You see the links that we provided, the top 40 certifications book number 2. Listen, if you want to refresh your resume, you're looking to break into tech, you're looking to have a new career as we go into 2025. I don't know what you got to lose. I ain't here to convince, but you get what I'm saying. Number 2 is the 5-day challenge. Listen, I've talked about digital marketing and affiliate marketing for over 10 years here on this platform, and I hope you guys have learned something from it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. But that's also another great avenue for you guys to learn there. I'll hold up my plaque in a video here soon that got shipped in the mail. And Digital Liberty Warriors Group. This Saturday's training. We have weekly Q&As as the schedule permits. And let's get into it. So you see the title, Recession, ? Winter here? College and MBA enrollment up, subscription for everything. So this is I got a lot of topics I want to hit on this one, but what we're going to do is I'm going to play a few clips for you guys because I think it's important for you to see. Well, Erica, you've been saying this for years. And again, when you know it's pruning season or you're here at the pivot, it's amazing because it's like, well, I told y'all so. And I don't have to do that, but it's important for you to see like it's confirmed with multiple sources. Now, before I get started to this, I just want to go over this really briefly, really quickly. I know that you're probably like, Erica, why are we talking about diabetes and LeVar Ball? I just think it's so important, you guys. Just because you get money does not mean you're in the right mindset about your health and about where you stand. And so even wealthy people sometimes don't make good decisions, right? And he said, long story short, LeVar Ball, he went in. You guys can go read up on this. He ended up he did an interview, and long story short, they had to cut off his right foot. But the poison had already got up there. And I'll just read this part. And I'll get out of here. I had an infection on my foot that started spreading through my blood due to not paying attention to my diabetes. I ended up having my leg amputated. First, they cut off a couple toes. Then they cut off my foot. Then they said, look, we got to go almost knee high for another surgery. 3 surgeries, and there were also blood transfusions. Not 1, not 2, but 4 different times. I'm not telling anybody what to do, what not to do. He lives in California. There's care there. There's excellent services there. But long story short, he says all those surgeries and blood transfusions made me question whether it was worth going through sometimes. It made me think, man, just kill me and let me go about my business. It made me think that maybe it's time for me to shut it down. But then I see what my boys are doing. They're like, Dad, you're the toughest dude I know. That made me keep going. It was good to have the backing from my boys. One of the things that make me go through all this together, when they're all together, I feel strong. Now, he basically says, listen, Black people, we got to take care of our health. And it's really unfortunate, right? And he talks about a lot of people his age in his 50s are dying, and they're dying of cancer and, diabetes. And I'm telling y'all, there's 2 or 3 people I've come across who have lost their parents in their 50s and 60s. And it's just like, this is food related and this is preventable, right? So that's just a tidbit. I just want you to understand, like, even wealthy people are dealing with diabetes. And so when they make those glucose medicines, those Ozempic, and everybody's running down there to take it, leave some for the people with the real diabetes. Okay. And he wasn't even fat. Like, not in my opinion, like everything I've seen LeVar Ball, he looks like he's moving, grooving, moving around. And so hopefully he'll be up, standing, and he'll be able to get a prosthetic leg or whatever that it will take. Because from the videos I saw, he was still out there shooting ball with people. So that's just unfortunate. I just had to bring that up. I know you're probably like, dang, you're tough way to start the show. I just think it's so important. Black people kind of joke about the sugar. We kind of laugh about the sugar, but it is a real deal. It is a real issue. Now, let me kick over to the next one. Let me kick over. Y'all know I've been picking out different selections to be like, hey, college enrollment is up, MBA enrollment is up. What happens during every recession? College enrollment goes up. Now everybody on the internet is telling you, hey, ain't nobody going to college, ain't nobody doing that, Erica, ain't nobody being bothered with that. And I just kind of giggle because I'm like, the data's out. Let me pull up the NPR data for you real quick. Let me share the screen with you. And you sit here and tell people I'm not saying don't go to college. That's not what Erica Williams is saying. I'm saying I would hope some of these people try different certificates and short-term training to get back in the job market instead of saying, hey, I'm going to go hide out at college for 2 to 4 years and then come back and try again. Because that's what a lot of people did in 2008. That's what people did every time there's a recession. It's documented. There's always a high, enrollment in college. So last year in the fall, when your boy won the election, U.S. colleges saw higher enrollment. Now, if you listen on the internet, you listen to all these passport bros, you listen to these travel guys, nobody's going to school, everybody's quitting. Even HBCU saw an enrollment. The Atlanta Clark College, I want to make sure I say it right. It's the one that's kind of on that really rough side of Atlanta. It had 42,000 applications last year. 42,000 applications, you guys. That's not like a little bit of applications. That's a significant amount of applications. Like they don't even have enough campus for, I think, less than 4,000 people. And they had 42,000 applications. Like, who's trying to come to Atlanta Clark like that? But that's what's happening in our economy. So, the kind of joke is when, white people get the cold, black people have the flu. I guess so. Yeah, thank you. Clark Atlanta University. I apologize if I'm saying it wrong in the chat. But yeah, Clark Atlanta had over 42,000 applications. And so if you think, the comments of like, oh, Erica, college enrollment is down, people aren't falling for college, college is a scam. I'm like, the data don't support what y'all saying. I just always want to go look at the data. Like, people can say whatever they want on the internet, but the data says otherwise, right? So across undergraduate and graduate programs, a total of 4.5 increase. Now you can say, well, Erica, that's only 4.5. That's not a ton. That's 817,000 students. That's almost 1 million people pouring back into graduate and undergraduate programs. Again, the incoming freshman class 2024 saw an increase of 5.5% of 130,000 students. Let me see. Let me go up a little bit more. And this is NPR. You can go check this out. They said the enrollment for community college, and again, this is freshman enrollment at community college rose 7.1%. And another 5.9% this year. Last year was 7.1%, and that's 325,000 students. So yes, kids are like, hey, maybe not go to college and University of California or Berkeley or anything like that, but they're definitely going to community college. They're definitely like, I need some workforce related activities, some certifications, some training. I got to get it. So you guys can go look this up for your own. This is NPR, and check out that data. Now, I'm not being petty, but I got to be petty for just a second. Okay. Yes, that's why I'm referring to. Well, I mean, Aaron Cleary did a video about it, but again, I've been talking about this for 7 years now. I've been telling y'all the cyclicalness of microeconomics and that you're going to see people go back to school when the winter is here. They're going to go hide out of college for a few years. When you're like, hey, why don't you go take a 6 months boot camp and just jump into the workforce? Well, is the boot camp paid for? Do I have to pay for the boot camp? Can I get financial aid? Like, it's a lot of those questions. You even see nursing programs, right? Nursing programs, they have now a 1 year speed up. It's basically, if you already have your associate's degree as a nurse, you can go into these like 12 months to 18-month boot camps, which I don't know if I want a nurse that went through a boot camp real fast, but they trying to figure out something to do other than just, bring in thousands and thousands of Filipino nurses from other countries, which is fair. Here is a thing I pick at, but I really mean it. I remember growing up, there was a few families that were having tough difficulties with their sons, and they were kind of like, yeah, I'm sending him to Job Corps, and it was the kid that, was hard-headed or got arrested a couple of times. You're like, what's going on? Now, I'm not hating against the Job Corps. I'm not. I think it's wonderful. I think that's awesome. I'm glad people want to do it. But when I looked up, or you would speak to people, and I'm just going to go there for a second, Black people about, oh, what is he taking, girl? What is he doing at the Job Corps, girl? It was always culinary. And I don't understand, because they have advanced manufacturing, they have automotive and machine repair, they had construction, they had healthcare, they have homeland security. Look, homeland security just need anybody at the border, apparently. They had IT, they had learning how to do the solar panels and renewable energy, and they had transportation. So you could literally get it all. Like they're all over the place, right? They were really trying to get you in there to get that hands-on training to get you out there. And so what would frustrate me is I'd be like, you went away and they pay you. Like, this ain't, let me click on some of the resources so y'all can see what I'm talking about here. Let me click on it. If it'll let me. Hold on. Potential student. Let me see if it'll do it. But long story short, some of these people have housing and a stipend. So it's not that like, oh, Erica, you're hating. No, I'm not. I really want these people to be trained. I want them to be able to leave Job Corps and have something to do. But again, they have residential living there. You can stay on property, or you can not stay on property. You can be at home. But you're 16 to 24 years old. You're a low income student. You meet the backgrounds. You meet them. You're ready and motivated to go, right? Again, you get free housing, meals, basic healthcare, living allowance. I'm not sending my troubled child there to go learn culinary. I could go send him down the street to Texas Roadhouse to learn how to cook. Am I wrong, y'all? Am I wrong? Y'all can let me know if I'm wrong. I'm okay if I'm wrong, okay? I'm okay. Dr. K says, I worked at Job Corps in Tennessee. Most of my male students were enrolled in automotive services. I wonder if it's regional. Thank God. Thank God they enrolled in automotive, because automotive at least gives them a chance to leave their Jiffy Lube, oil change places, wherever. And then they can go on to a car dealership, Honda, any of those. Those work wonders, okay? And if you guys are enjoying the content, you just drop a 1 in the comments, or drop your city and state in the comments. But I saw Aaron Clary make a joke about Job Corps. It's like, you got your hair dyed, you ain't got nothing going on with your life. I just started laughing so bad. I was like, you got to stop, man. He's hilarious. But go check that video out. That just reminded me of, like, every time the economy shifts and you tell people the economy is shifting, no, it's not, Erica. It's fine. I'm like, all right, dude, cool. Now I'm going to show you a few creators who are also shifting in this economy. Before I do that, someone asked me, well, what's your deal with Austin? Why are you always acting like Austin is the base city? And I just tell people they have a plan for the city for 20, 30 years. And that's every city. Like, let's not play like it's every city has a plan. If you go read their economic development, I'm just going to show you these 2 clips. This is Explore Austin ATX. Okay. If you click here. All right. Now, first things first, this is, if any of you have ever been here, we have a racetrack. They're getting ready to build a giant amusement park, which me and my boo gonna go see it. Okay. But it's gonna have 30 rides across 30 acres. They're already building it. It's going to take up 1,000. Now, Circle of America is 1,500 acre property, and they ain't even finished doing what they need to do. Now, we always have Formula One, October 17th through the 19th. They're building this racetrack, all these rides, these 30 rides, they're going to be ready by October. Now, I don't know if I want to get on all of them, because that's just questionable. That's really fast. They've been working on it for about a year now, but that's kind of fast to me. I want to, I'll watch some people get on it, but I don't know if I want to get on it. But long and the story short, the reason I bring this up is
kid rides. Circuit of the Americas already gets 1.5 million visitors annually, and they're also building the T11 car condos, which are luxury garage suites with clubhouse amenities. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about Coda Land, and send this video to someone with taco phobia. This is going to be Austin's largest amusement park. Coda Land will feature 30 rides across 30 acres, located at Circuit of the Americas, aka the thrill capital of the world. Expected to open just in time for Formula One weekend. Some of the attractions will feature a 95-foot tall palindrome coaster reaching 51 miles an hour across 1,230 feet of track. The Circuit Breaker, which is 131 feet tall and tilts 45 degrees before dropping. The Sky Blazer, which is a 200-foot free fall. The Texas Wildcat, which is a single-car train reaching top speeds of 40 miles an hour. And my personal favorite, the Hot Lap Experience, where a professional driver takes you on the track reaching 150 miles an hour. There's also 20-plus additional family and kid rides. Circuit of the Americas already gets 1.5 million visitors annually, and they're also building the T11 car condos, which are luxury garage suites with clubhouse.
So again, they have multiple car clubs here. There's even a rich entrepreneurs club, because they have an executive airport on that side, near over there. But yeah, this is right around the corner from Elon Musk's Tesla, that's a mile long, and also it's right around the corner from the airport. So the international folks basically fly in and they just get it, they get over here and get crazy with it. But I'm gonna miss some of them rides. And some of them they can pass me with that. Now you can say, well, Erica, that's so what? They're making an Austin's largest amusement park. So what? Let me click over here. Let me show you another one. This is a 4,000 seat capacity, 65,000 square feet indoor music venue. Now you can say, okay, you got music venues. Who cares? This whole river park side development is going to take $4 billion, and they're going to build it in 10 to 20 phases. Now, if anybody's ever been here to Austin, there's a thing called Riverside. And when I moved here 11 plus or 12 years ago, who knows how many at this point, when I came here, my friends had lived, and 3 white dudes living on Riverside, which was the hood of the hoods. It's still mostly hood over there. You still want your car broken into, go park it over by Riverside a little bit farther in. They had an apartment, 3-bedroom, 3-bath apartment. I said, man, this is so spacious. It was so old. It was like 1980s. It was terrible in there, but they kept it clean. And the apartment got bought out. And the first thing, it sent them a letter say, listen, your rent's going to go from $1,800 for this 3-bedroom to $3,300. Basically, they were trying to force everybody out the complex. If your lease was coming due, you had to go, right? That's because that's how they were taking over Riverside. And so if you saw these guys leaving Riverside out of a pretty decent apartment, most of Riverside was going through that. I worked as a temp manager over at one of the Riverside apartments, and it was Section 8, and those people still over there to this day. They kept that one unit the same, that one apartment building the same. But at the end of the day, Riverside is like directly connected to downtown. You literally hop right over it. You're in downtown, right? And so the problem with people thinking, oh man, they did all this change to Riverside. Glad that's over. It's not over. They've got literally more to come. Let me go show you some more. So this is 100 acres. This is a really nice park. I hope everybody can see this very well. This greenery is the park. This is D1, D2, D3, D4. So you know they're going to do things in phases. This is East Riverside over here. They're going to build basically a domain of the South, right? They got a domain. They're building off, what's the name of that street? Off Manchac here in Austin. I think it's Manchac. South Lamar Manchac. Then they're going to build another domain like at this place. Then they're going to build another domain near Hutto. And they have plans for this city for the next 20, 30 years that I kind of laugh when I'm like, have y'all read our economic development plan? They're going to kind of go crazy with this place. So they're spanning 109 acres with 10 million square feet of apartments, offices, retail, parkland, and entertainment venues. Okay, go on here, switch over. It's called River Park. The construction is set to begin late 2025. They already started. Like I can drive you in a video on that side of town, East Riverside, and I can show you a picture. But it will be built in phases of 10 to 20 years, costing $4 billion. Why? They want to be able to have those construction loans flowing, and they also want to be able to have it absorb. And also, we'll have 30 acres of public green space, including a 2-acre signature park overlooking Country Club Creek. Okay. Now, essentially, it's kind of wet on that side of town, and things haven't been built because the cost, insurance. But trust me, they figured out a way to get development. They're gonna build it. So this is just a part of what I'm telling people when I go, really look at what a city or state is planning to do and where you can get in or fit in. A lot of people, when they're like, oh, everybody's leaving Austin, I just kind of laugh because I'm like, that's a temporary ebb and flow. It's mostly adults who are like, yeah, I'm gonna go live in the suburbs with my kids. I'm gonna go live south of Austin and get a cheaper house. I'm gonna go north and get a cheaper spot, right? Like I'm not gonna stay where I'm not getting the most bang for my buck for my money. It just is what it is, right? So let me go and kick over here. Let me get out of this. This is, I guess I should start with Rob Built. Y'all want Rob Built or y'all want Ryan Pieta first? Put it in the comments and I'll let me know where to start. Y'all want Rob Built first or you want Ryan Pieta first? Which one you want? Put it in the comments. Let's get some chatter going. They got an Austin Sports Club they're opening in the fall. It's backed by Kevin Durant and Rich Kleiman. And Joe Geeby is an Airbnb founder, and Lobos Hospitality. It's going to have sports, hospitality. Apparently, Kevin Durant is going to, cut open the ribbon or whatever that night. So hopefully we can go check it out. But yeah, it's going to be fancy. It looks very classy. We might have to dress up to go here. I think that's what's going to have to happen. We're going to have to dress up to go here. On TV, is it? My bad, y'all. My bad. My bad. Let me show you this. Let me show you. I'm so sorry. I thought I was playing it. Here we go.
It was just a few years ago that me and Katie and Katie's business partner, Rich, were here in Austin watching a game. We were at a sports bar. And we kind of looked around and we go, it'd be cool if there was like a really kind of high-end sports bar to watch a game in town. And we said, well, where would we go? And the answer was nowhere. That conversation turned into, well, what if we just made it? So I'm Peter Max.
Okay, I don't, they sound like tools. I don't want to really listen to them. I want to go because I want to go to a high-end place. Two, Austin is if you go to Dallas, there are people dressing nice, period, point blank. It is what it is. I can go to the co-working spaces and people are dressed up, suit and tie. I can go here in Austin, almost anywhere, and somebody's in pajamas. Okay. I can go anywhere in Austin and somebody's in pajamas. I remember one time at the Apple Business Center, where the Apple headquarters is, I got to go with my friend who was catering this special food and kind of get a sneak peek with her. And I'm telling you, they were showing up to this fancy, I mean, she decked it all out. I'm talking about top-notch food that Apple paid her thousands of dollars to do. I didn't have to serve her anything. I just got to sneak in with her group and act like I was over by the drinks. And they were in pajamas, y'all. They were in pajamas at work. That's why I was like, y'all getting out of control at work right now. So Austin is one of those places where it's so cool, keeping Austin weird, right? And I believe Kevin Durant is backing our WNBA petition. He's backed it, and there's a group advocating for Austin to get a WN Women's NBA. We already have a G League here. The Spurs come here twice a year or whatever. They need to come like at least 5 times a year, honestly. And so it'd be super cool. Okay, super cool that Kevin Durant is investing in this Austin sports club. Again, if you don't know Kevin Durant's history, he was here, he played sports here. He's gonna have more say in this city, right? We painted a big mural of him in the Moody Center. There's more to come, right? So I don't want to hear them lit talk because you guys can see how they look. I mean, these are partners, but yeah.
Sports bar to watch a game in town.
Anyway, so long story short, this is gonna be a really nice place. I will dress up just to go see it. And kind of see what's the vibe. I'd be willing to put on a dress, little cocktail dress. I got to get me some new cocktail dresses anyway, some better shoes. And this is also Austin putting $1.6 billion into our convention center. So we've decided we're going to tear up stuff and we're going to put $1.6 billion.
It's $1.2 billion. They found a way to sneak in another $400 million. Wouldn't be surprised if the bill is $3 billion by the end of it. The convention center says it loses $700 million in opportunities each year because the building's too small. And their only solution is to build a bigger one, even when they don't have full occupancy on the existing one. It will close down after this year's South by Southwest and reopen in 2029. Once complete, it will nearly double in size to 620,000 square feet. The bonds for the existing convention center still have not been paid off yet. City Council rejected all public feedback for this development and used internal approvals to get this across the line, which is fairly common when bureaucrats and lobbyists only look out for their own interests. Comment no ha.
So guess what? That is crazy. And this is why Austin, people complain of Austin kind of being rich people doing what they want. The City Council didn't let anybody have any input on this. They closed. South by Southwest just finished here. They're closed till 2029. That is 4 years. Austin brings in $1 billion a year in conferences. So if they can't use our biggest conference center, where will they go for people who have contracts all over Austin? One place they will go is Palmer Event Center. They'll have no choice. There's like 3 other event centers north in the Domain. They'll have to use them as well. But this is kind of crazy. And for the city to just go, yeah, we've already greenlit it. We haven't even paid off our bonds on the original building. They haven't been paid off, y'all. This is why I just tell y'all when people are like, oh, Austin's nobody's gonna be there, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, man. Like we're losing $7 million a year because we can't, the space is too small. Like people keep calling Austin, can we bring this here? No, it's too small. So I just want you to understand how big this is. There also is a hotel downtown Fairmont. I went there for the affordable housing conference. They'll host a bunch of stuff too. They have room almost equivalent. They have enough room that they can get away with it. And it's very expensive there. But yeah, this is why when people ask me about Austin, I'm like, they got plans for this city. Like 30 years for the next 30 years. Like it's kind of crazy. Yeah. I mean, city council at this point in Austin is like a formality. Like if some billionaire, if Elon Musk comes in and say, hey, I have money to buy it, we're kind of like, oh, okay. I just think that's crazy, but that's what it's going to be for the next 4 or 5 years here. Just once the soccer team became worth $1 billion in 3 years, the guy's only had the soccer team 3 years and he sold $100 million in just merch. Yeah, you already knew what time it was in Austin. All right, let me get out of there. Let me go on to Ryan Pietas. Y'all have voted. Let me see what the votes are. Looks like a lot of people voted Ryan. Ryan, we got one. Rob Built. We'll hit him second. We're gonna hit Ryan first. I'm GM. I'm gonna read what you said. LPN. You became an LPN in Job Corps, and then our state gave her a full ride to become an RN. It's all about how a person uses their opportunities. Your mom. Okay, my bad. My mom went to Job Corps and became an LPN. Once she finished training, our state gave her a full ride for RN. Well, that's beautiful. I hope your mama gets to run the halls of any hospital and make big banks forever. I'm for real on that. As long as she wants. Okay, let me go on out of here. Let me get out of here. Let me show you Ryan. I got too many windows open. We're going to close some of these windows at some point here. Let me go here. Let me hit you. All right, so this is his video. How to recover from significant financial losses in business. And you can read the writing on the room. I don't have to explain it to you. There's no need. Like what's been going on in several creator spaces. Stuff happens. Like money issues. Stuff be happening. Life be lifing. Okay. So let me play this and then I'll kind of give you my take on it.
Your business to this point, figure out how to do it better. Don't worry about Facebook ads and YouTube ads and all this other stuff. Figure out how to do that better. If you've done good with ads or you've done good with organic content, do that better. You're not good enough to need all these new strategies yet. You got to already do what's made you successful and got you to this point better. So that would be the fourth thing I do. Fifth thing you got to do once marketing is working is you got to just keep it as lean as possible and rinse and repeat. Once things turn around, you start to get very much back into the old ways that got you to this point. You get a little more lax with money. You kind of take your foot off the gas. You start trying new things and testing things and, you just kind of get more loose. That's just what happens when you make more money. I'm guilty of it many times. So what I can say is once you finally kind of get yourself out of the pit, you got to stay with it. You got to pretend like you're still in that pit. You're still, facing bankruptcy or insolvency or closing the business. Like literally keep that same mindset and keep doing the things that got you out of the pit. Because if you do the things that got you out of the pit, they're going to help you get way out of it and they're going to lead to success. And so for me, transparently, like I said, I've had many businesses fail. I've had many lawsuits. I've had many losses, a ton of bad press. So what have I done to get out of it? Well, like I said, I did those steps I just said. I cut expenses. I renegotiated things. I did settlements. I focused on selling to the people who already have bought from me, who have been happy with what I've done. I focused on one marketing strategy. In this case, it's Facebook ads. And now we're at the point where we're out of it and things are really good, but I'm keeping it lean. I'm not all of a sudden just going to go and, blow the top off, hire all these people, try all this random stuff, start a bunch of businesses again. No, that's what got me into the mess. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to stay lean and keep this thing rolling. So you got to be able to focus and maintain doing the things that got you out of the situation. Now, if you follow those 5 steps, that assumes you got.
Y'all heard that, right? Keep it lean, rinse and repeat. That's as much as you're going to get as him addressing, the fund closing. That's as much as you're going to get him addressing several lawsuits. That's as much as you're going to get as him addressing multiple things. Them letting go all the staff in the office, him not building on that mountain, him having to sell things. Life happens. A shift happens. And it's better to have the shift now when you're young. Hold on a second. I got a little tea. Hold on. It's better to go, okay, boom. I got hit. Because when you never take a loss, You think everything you do is gold. Baby, I'm telling you, couldn't tell me nothing about 5 years ago. I'm like, everything I touch is gold. Now I'm like, whoo. That's right. It's a season. Listen. I need to trademark that. I've been saying it too much on the channel, but y'all gonna start saying it. Thank you, Ant Dog. It's a season. I know my loved ones get tired of me saying it's a season. They be like, how long is a season? When is a season? What is a season? Sometimes it's a moment. Sometimes it's a year. Sometimes it's more than a year. But it shouldn't be, right? You got to acknowledge where you are and figure out what's the season and pivot. So this is as close as y'all gonna get to him, letting you know, hey, things was going left real hard. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's business. That's life. Everything is cyclical. Real estate is cyclical. Lawsuits for sure pushed him into that season. Yeah, he in that season now. Right. Because, there's been, him doing those interviews. Sometimes you may not want to do that. And you can look at Ryan's face when he does these interviews. He be over it. But if the digital is making you the money, keep making the money. That's just life. That's life. That's right, Jay Way. Everybody has a plan till they hit in the face. Mike Tyson, man, I don't know if he trademarked that, but it ought to be. Because I tell you, when you get hit in the face, you're like, what happened? It take you a minute. So I'm glad he addressed this in the best way possible. But this is a good video regardless. But that's as close as you're going to get to him addressing that issue. And we're gonna bounce up out of there. But the video is called How to Recover from Significant Financial Losses in Business. And it is sales is the way. More sales. Sales is gonna keep you alive. Thank you. It's a season, not a spiritual attack. Man, let me tell you, you be talking to people that be like, the devil's after me. Man, your consequences after you, your choices after you. I mean, you can play some days, but it'll catch up with you. That's just life, right? Like everybody be thinking they smooth till they not. It happens. It really does. You look up, boom, it got you. Genuine thought he was still fine out here. Y'all started laughing at him doing that dance. And now look at him doing tours all over the country. Y'all making fun of him and he's still dancing. So take that. Take that. As PDD says, take that. Let me get this off the screen. Let me go do this. Okay, Rob Built. Here we go. Since that was the second vote, not the first. But I think he did a classy way of addressing it without addressing it. So that was good. Rob Built. There's two parts of this video I want to show. Let me go back to about this part right here. Right here.
Every single month of the year. I wanted 12 so that I could go and travel to one every single month and stay there, which is kind of crazy to reflect on because I have never stayed really at any of my properties. Maybe like two. Once. And so I guess the fact that I've hit all of these monetary goals, but haven't actually hit or fulfilled my personal goals and desires and not even doing the things that I wanted to do when I got started, I think it just doesn't bring me joy to own all these properties everywhere. And so with that, I'm officially in my pruning season. What that means is I'm going to be getting rid of everything that does not bring me joy. Anything that I can't have a handle on personally, that I can't affect the management on, any property that I've just lost touch with, I'm just done with it. And let me tell you that is not the savvy real estate thing to do, because a lot of people would say, Rob, who, not how. Yep. Rob, you shouldn't be managing your own Airbnbs. Rob, you should have so many teams that you're completely out of it and it should be completely passive. But the truth is, my friends, that Airbnb is not passive. And anyone who tells you that it is.
The crazy part is I know exactly where he's at in Houston. Just that's how often I've been there. I know the neighborhood, but keep going. All right.
Is either a liar or actually believe it, but don't realize how horrible their properties are to stay at. I am talking about a lot of the gurus out there with coaching programs that make a lot of money, a lot more than my coaching program. It is rare to find educators out there that are actually talking the talk and walking the walk. And I have done my best over the years to walk the walk.
Listen, I want y'all to understand, like, his ideal wasn't crazy, right? 12 properties that he could go, him and his family could travel once a month to and see them once a month. That's a lot. That's a lot of traveling every month. That's a lot. That's a lot of traveling. And Airbnb, in my opinion, works best. To this day, I'll still say this, right on the beach. Right in the mountain or right on the beach. If you're right on the beach, and they can watch the water, they can hear the water, they can see the water. That Airbnb or that rental property stays booked all the time. That's why beach towns have property management companies that's been there 30 years. They know every maid in town, they know every cleaning company, every painter, and they stay in business because they manage the one spot they're in. Just the one spot. You ain't got to manage everywhere, just the one spot. So when you have one or two every other place, that's just not, it doesn't work well, right? Again, even when I talk about the concept of Tri-City CEO, you just have three places. Ty Lopez still does Tri-City CEO. He does Los Angeles, where he's renting that ridiculous mansion. He does Wyoming, where he partnered with that farmer, and his mom lives up there. And then number three, right? Number three, let me get you on out of here. Block ministry for you. Number three, he's Puerto Rico. So he just bounces between those three. And the Puerto Rico, of course, is for the money, the taxes. The LA is for, business. He's going to do some dinners. He's mixing and mingle. Puerto Rico, I guess, gets boring to him. And then Wyoming is for the cow, right? So the farm, the beef farm. So again, these are all lessons, but you just never go everywhere. You go three places that you're going to see often. And if you ask me, what's my three places? North Carolina, if I had to dump $1 million right now, I'm going to go a couple beach, maybe two at most beach properties on the water, North Carolina beaches. Too easy, right? I know I've studied the management company there. A couple properties in my hometown, puts people I know to work. And then I double down on Texas, double down on the growth. And then I'd pick a third. I pick a third. It could be a couple different states in mind. But that way, when somebody says, "Oh, Erica, how's this going?" I know it's only three different places it could be. It's going to be NC, it's going to be Texas, it's going to be another state. Like, I'm going to heavily focus there. So I make sure, if you have management there, you have people there, you have banks there, you have to pay taxes. Right now, if you told me all the the foreign LLC taxes I'd have to pay for multiple states, I would have not believed you, but I do now. I've lessons learned. So that's just one thing I want to say about this. And there's more to this video I want to show you. So let me continue.
Literally swapped out an electronic keypad myself yesterday at my Airbnb. And then 2 days ago, I swapped out a propane tank. And then last week, I also swapped out a propane tank at a different property because it felt nice to be involved. Isn't that a crazy concept? It felt nice to be involved in the hospitality of my properties that are in the hospitality niche. Call me old-fashioned, I guess. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm getting rid of any property that doesn't bring me joy, because what brings me joy is actually being a host and having a high-touch experience with my properties.
All right, pause. Let's get on through it. A lot of blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Let's go right here.
Everything that I had launched before Funkit was just something that I rapid prototyped. It was something that I launched super fast on a budget. And at the time it worked. But over time, I feel like everything just started deteriorating. Hashtag that's Airbnb for you. And I had to just start performing lots of maintenance on it. And hey, guess what? Hey, can I tell you something? Airbnb is not passive. But when I started launching Funkit properties, we put so much thought into every single detail, into every single system, into every single piece of furniture that would never break down over the course of years and wear and tear from thousands of guests. And that 2.0 version and all of those properties have been such a dream to manage because they're just so thoughtfully done and built to last. And so at this point, I'm like, that's all I really want in my portfolio. I don't want anything that I kind of shoddily put together and had to go and do Band-Aid fixes over time. So that's kind of the state of this portfolio. I'm not going to harp on it too much. I'm sure I'll make more content on this, but I am sad.
For sure. That's and this is why you see the boutique hotel marketing. There's like 4 or 5 people. There's a meetup this week coming up. I don't know if I'll make it because I have tickets to the girls' basketball game, but I may make it because there's a meetup and several of them are what we call midterm rentals now. But it's bed and breakfast. It's basically what it is. It's like hotels at Lake Tahoe at 16 rooms. There's only so much money you make. You have to make it really high end to make it like a unique spot. Some of them are buying them in, where do you call that place? Oh gosh, what do you call that place? It is Palm Springs. It's like the desert or something to that effect. Palm Springs, California. I think that's where it is. But there are a couple of them who are buying these boutique hotels. And there's a young lady that I saw No, not Joshua Tree. No, not Joshua Tree. And then there's another young lady here who's in Austin, and she's turning, boutique hotels in Arkansas and a couple other places. So you know what I mean? It's just they're going back to a model that people like. Bed and breakfast, unique niche. Me and my significant other stayed at a beautiful place near San Francisco on the water. I mean, the only thing weird was the bed was weird. It was just weird. It was like slanted. But overall, like that unique experience of that hotel, I'm like, I would pay for that over and over again. I would pay for a unique on the waterfront. And I've looked for different other unique hotels over there. So when I go back, I'm like, oh, we can stay at this one now. Because that's the only thing I really want to stay at. I want to stay at a unique hotel. Marriott's always going to be great. Hilton, all that stuff is always going to be great. But a unique experience that you can really like, oh, I stayed where the locals stayed. Exactly. That's what I keep telling y'all. It's the 1990s all over again. Like stuff is going back to the 90s. The boutique hotels, the small stuff. You know what I mean? It's where you get the unique experience. It's the nice. I need to go ahead and rename the video. Thank you, lovely Ava. I'm gonna have to put another thumbnail that says the 90s again. I'm gonna get on your nerves saying this. I'm just telling you, 1990s. We got gambling everywhere. You got hookers walking the street in the daylight. You got people gonna go to jail for being stupid, stealing stuff, doing dumb crime. I don't know if you've been seeing the videos on Nashville. They're roofing girls' drinks, and they're breaking into Airbnbs in Nashville. So it's just like it's getting stupid. It's getting stupid. And so that's basically what he's saying. But there's more. Wait, there's more. I want to show you this other part before we get off this video, and it probably hits me with a copyright strike. Here we go.
To be losing some cuties. I feel like I have to thank them for what they gave me, much like I often thank y'all for what you gave me. So thank you. But it's really leading into the next era of Raw Built, which I'm excited to talk about. So the real catalyst for all of this was, I wanted properties like Funkit that were high quality properties that could make me a ton of money.
Hold on. We're skipping.
And I had this off. So I guess I'm going to finish this at home. Hi, I'm back in a controlled setting with controlled lighting and sound. Isn't that great? Let's talk about this development. This is actually kind of a crazy story. I have a conference every year called HostCon. And at that first HostCon, Kai Andrew, my business.
Boom. If you haven't looked at Kai Andrew's channel, I highly recommend you go. I just want you, I'll go over there for a second, but let's let him finish this sentence. Like, I think it's like 45 seconds and then I'm gonna get out of here.
Partner at Host Camp spoke, and one of the people in the audience really got inspired by that and just the idea of building a big Airbnb compound. So he set out to do that. And then a year later, he came to HostCon and was in development. And then on my third HostCon, he came and he said, I built it and I'd love to sell it, and I'd love to sell it to you. And one thing led to another, and many conversations and negotiations later, I am officially under contract on this development. This is a 13 plus unit development. It's over $5 million. I'll give you some details, but not too many, because we all know when I talk about deals publicly.
Oh my God, yes.
But it's several $1 million. There are over 10 units.
Listen, let me tell you something. When you talk about your ideals out loud, they do die. They die. So when Rob Built said this, I'm like, I feel you. You talk about the ideal out loud, it dies. Just do the ideal and come back and tell us about it. Like, I don't even want him to tell us about the development now. I'm like, don't tell us. Just hold it to yourself. Just show up one day with a camera. Here, you guys, I've finished this project finally. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, this is what happens. This is what happens when you talk about it out loud. It dies. I'm telling you, hustle culture is not the way. I'm telling you, what happens is there is a progression chart. If I can go find it, I learned about it at one of these masterminds. I'll bring it back to y'all, or I'll cover up the mastermind who posted it. But essentially, I was offended. The guy was like, oh, you're in hustler stage. I was like, excuse me? I'm a business person. He's like, no, you're in hustler stage. This is the next stage. It has this. The next stage has this. And the more he talked, I was like, okay, I agree. I'm not even gonna like argue with you, because there are certain things that need to be put in place for you not to be in hustler phase. And it's not because people think, oh, I have staff. You have people who micromanage staff, who sit on top of their staff back, who give their staff manual work every day. No, I literally had the editor in Uganda. Like, even though he's only on here part-time, he literally is just, he's literally just putting stuff together for me and sending me videos. So it's really important. It's really important. So here we go. Let me roll back up a little bit. Yes, Palm Springs. Yep. Arkansas. Nah, she's doing it in another part of Arkansas near Fayetteville, where the Walmart is. Bentonville. Old school and breakfast. Yeah. Short-term management is a full-time job. Overextending is real. I'm telling you, I feel him on this. Very much so. Tell the story once it's completed. Save yourself. Just save the headache. Let me play a little bit of this and get on out of here.
On it, ranging from geodomes to tiny houses to A-frames, tree houses, hobbit homes, a lot of cool things with room to expand another 10 plus units and then more acreage to do another 20 plus in the future if we want to. And I believe that this is the deal of a lifetime. Let me clarify that. I believe that this is the deal of my lifetime. And going back to my tiny house village, I mean, I basically set out to build what it is that I have the opportunity to buy now, which is really tough for me because I just want to build it and do it myself. But I think for where I am in my journey, I'm looking to simplify, consolidate, and really focus on one star property that I can optimize the hell out of and make content about and teach you how to develop from the ground up, how to plan and budget for glamping units, what goes into unique stays like Hobbit homes.
Okay. We got it. Well, I don't have to sit there forever, but you guys understand what I've been saying, right? Like I've been going over this for a while, been telling y'all like this is coming. I'm gonna show you Kai Andrews for a second, and then I'm gonna show you this other clip because I think it's important. How many times? We're literally we have 46 minutes. Good, cool. We're gonna get out of here on time. I promise. We're getting out of here on time today, y'all. Here's Kai Andrew. Ty said she's in his group. There you go. Listen. So here's the thing. Rob Built and the other guy with the shaved head that's going through all the financial trouble and is now red pill, Robert Greene or whatever, and getting upset. God bless him. You know, life be said. But being on Bigger Pockets, having this voice in people's ear, Brandon Turner was able to have all these units, these are ridiculous amounts of units. And even you've seen him on videos tell other big investors, like, you probably have better cash flow than me. I'm like 1% of a 1% of a 1% of a 1% of a 1%. You know what I'm saying? It's coming back online, I think April 1st. So you should see it back April 1st. I was a kid in the 90s, so it was good times looking for it. I mean, it just is. It's cycling back. So when you have Bigger Pockets ears, you have all these people who are tech people, high income people, working professionals who are like, I'm just trying to move some money, right? And what happens is that is how a lot of them built their business. So as Rob Built and David Green got off Bigger Pockets, and I saw them try to put up podcasts and respond, and I'm like, you're not going to get that same level of push. You're not. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You just have to make do what you do. So him selling all that stuff so he can finish his development makes a lot of sense, because a bank who probably thought it was a cool idea and was going to lend him a certain amount of money is now like, nah, we need more skin in the game. We need more money from you, and we need more skin in the game. So you can see here, you can go to Kai Andrews' page, super unique. And it just talks about next boom town, which I hate when he says stuff is going to be a boom town, because there's a couple of them. But long story short, land, you'll see a lot of this I'm talking about this year, but land, certain unique areas, they double down, they niche on an area, and it's important. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but go check out his channel. Again, some of our inner circle folks are going to be doing some stuff like this, but at the end of the day, you guys can go look at this all yourself. It's really good. You build unique, basically bread and vegetables places, or this guy built silos. You build something unique, people will come to it and they'll book it up every year. How do I know? I'm them people. Like I keep going to Yellowstone. I keep going to Idaho. I keep going to Vermont and upper New York, because I just have a rhythm or routine. I like going to see stuff. Right. So it's kind of weird. But if you have something unique and people really like it, they'll book next year. It's just like you go to a conference or you go to a music concert and you're like, oh, let me see where their next show is. Let me see where they're going to play next year. I'm on people's email list. Different country music artists come out. They're like, oh, tickets are going live. I'm like, I'm there. I don't even care what you're singing about this year. I don't care about your new album. Beyonce is the only person I have not been that for. I actually want to go to Cowboy Carter because I've missed all the other stuff. But in general, it's that kind of thing. I've heard that a lot about Bigger Pockets, but if you listen to the guys, they told you they couldn't call people out. They couldn't say certain stuff because that's not what they were paid to do. They weren't paid to do that. It's not what they were paid to do. So let me see. Okay, this is the last one. And this came out of the inspiration of having a conversation with somebody, and they're like, oh, is this rented? And it's like, no, I own this. And what's funny is we pretty much expect everybody to be on some type of subscription model. Now, what do I mean subscription model? We have this kind of, oh, let me see how nice way to say this. People are leasing cars, they're leasing houses. I talked to this one person, I didn't realize they were leasing this vehicle, and they're a business owner. I'm like, you could buy this vehicle. Why are you leasing this? And it was because that's just what everybody does, right? Here in Austin, there's a place called Factory Warehouse, and they probably have multiple cities they're in. And they loan people washer and dryers. And when I did the math, because I was like, let me get me a washer and dryer, And I said, how much is it? They're like, oh, it's $45 for the washer, $45 for the dryer. I'm like, okay, so $90. Oh, but then there's another, I think $15 fee. So it ends up coming out to be like $100 a month, close to it, $105 or $107 a month. It's on reoccurring. You add that up where people live in these apartments 1, 2, 3 years. How much have you paid for that washer and dryer? And that's the cheap ones. That's the cheap washer and dryer. Let me just do the math for you real quick. $105 for the cheap one, not the fancy ones. And you stay there 24 months. That's $2,520. You could have bought 3 washer and dryers for that price. Like, washer and dryers aren't cheap. I'm not going to play you that way. But like in general, you can get a $300 gets you a basic white washer and dryer. $300 gets you a basic washer or a basic dryer. $600 gets you both. Let's just say that way, right? And so when you're talking to people, that was the basic level. So if you go to warehouse appliance, let's say you want the fancy washer dryer. You want a nice fancy washer dryer. Let's say they charge you $125 a month times 24 months. That's $3,000 you're paying for a washer and dryer at your place. That's crazy. On top of people leasing cars, on top of people paying for Audible memberships and Netflix and Paramount and AMC Plus. I have to look up myself and check sometimes. I'm like, why am I paying for Netflix, HBO, AMC Plus, and Paramount? I start plugging my laptop up to the TV. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this today. Something gonna get watched. Y'all charging me too much. I just looked up what you're charging me. There is a lot of apps that cancel your subscriptions. I'm gonna start promoting that app here. Disclaimer: it is a affiliate, but for sure, I just want y'all to understand, like, that's where we're going. And even on a higher level, I don't know if you guys saw my wall today where I showed you a picture of them equipment, like a construction equipment. Those things have licenses on them. So there's like basic repairs you can do, but if you touch their software or their keyboards or anything into the mainframe of those equipment, you're now breaking the law, right? And there's a lot of lawsuits all over the United States going called right to repair, right? It started right to repair started with a lot of folks out of New York who were fixing Apple laptops, and Apple was sending cease and desist lawsuits to them. You can't fix our laptops. They have to go back to Apple. You can't fix our stuff. And they're like, why not? It's simple repair. It's a simple repair. I can fix it. And Apple's like, I ain't trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. So those are things that are happening. And so I'm just going to play a little clip of this, and then we're going to kind of wrap it up here.
Peers own nothing. They don't want to own anything. Everything is a service.
I miss the days where when you actually purchased something, it was yours.
I just lost every single book on my Kindle, over 300 books.
Then I tried to print at my leisure, and it was like, no, you literally can't use the printer unless you have a subscription.
Automakers want to turn this thing you drive every day into a moving subscription.
A new study shows Gen Zers have some finance problems, starting out with more credit card debt than previous generations.
But let this be your reminder, you guys, we don't own anything on social media. This is their app. They can at any time get rid of TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, your email. We don't own anything.
And ultimately, that's how you completely control human beings.
Bingo. Before any more of this video gets shown, let me just clarify. I'm telling people, HP printers, you have a service. You have to pay for a service. Any of these laptops, Microsoft, any of it, Adobe. I'm like, oh, I hate Adobe, right? Yeah, Louis Rossman's still fighting a good fight. He even moved out of New York. He would show you all these empty places in New York and how it was a racket because they weren't dropping the rent. And I'm telling you, the REITs own those places, right? $200 will get you a washer and dryer combo off OfferUp. Yeah, I mean, if you just need any washer and dryer, you can get one. But that's where people are. People don't even have $200, $300, $400 set aside for a washer and dryer. They don't even thinking like that. They just keep going to the laundromat. I remember one day I went to a laundromat and my blanket or something wouldn't dry. This is years ago, and I was so mad. And I called my mom. She's like, "Who sits at the laundromat at night? You could just buy a washer and dryer." And I was like, you know what? You're right. Went on to Best Buy. Couldn't take it. Because you just think, hey, it's quick, it's simple. I'm out of town. I'm traveling on time. I don't care. It don't matter. I can just stop by this laundromat. But that's not, you have to just do the math on it sometimes, on anything you do. Jay Way said, I used to fix iPhones, and the amount of stuff Apple controls and doesn't allow is insane. Oh, for sure. You already know. I've heard mobile home parks lease out washer and dryers as well. Why not? Why not? I mean, it's in their park. Child upsell renter center, you already know. Dave Green is grifting now on the red pill crap, just another way to keep exposure. Yeah, I really feel bad for him. I feel bad for him because, a woman, he was dating a single mom who was a drunk, and she kept getting DUIs, and I was like, why were you dating a woman that kept getting DUI? Like, what's going on? You're pretty rich dude, but we'll leave it there. We'll leave that alone. You and me both, Erica, had to get Rocky money. Oh, yeah, Rocket money to get rid of several subscriptions that I'm not using. Most of my subscriptions are Pony Pit. You already know. Tim Cook said he got to keep the money in there. You will own nothing and be happy. You already know. It's happening in front of our eyes. Like zip cars. People are like, oh, yeah, zip cars. I can just pick up a car and go. When we were in New York, we were like, how much would it cost for us to get this ride to this apple farm that's 30 minutes away? Now, in New York, when they say something's 30 minutes away, New York's like, baby, that's $122 ride. You know what I mean? This is New York. And then on the way back, because the traffic was bad, the ride would almost cost $200 on Uber. We're like, oh, heck no, we're not doing that. We go find a zip car. I think we paid maybe $150 for the whole day. We just had to put it back where we found it. And so it just kind of was crazy. But that's where people are going with this subscription model. It's an unfortunate because you're not having people understand the power of owning. You just have people coming online going, oh, I had to fix my roof. I had to maintain my house. This is crazy. No, what's crazy is you think you don't have to maintain stuff.
Welcome to the year 2030, where you'll own nothing and be happy, or so they say. That phrase is from Ida Auken, a Danish social democrat who in 2016 envisioned a future where...
First of all, she looked like a robot. She looks like a robot. Who hired this woman in Denmark? When y'all be telling me y'all want to go to Europe and see what? And talk to who? Anyway, let me push the button again. Let me stop.
Ownership is obsolete. In her utopian prediction, we no longer own cars, houses, appliances, or even clothing. Instead, everything that was once a product is now a service. But as 2030 approaches, this prediction that was once framed as a dream is now feeling more like a dystopian reality. Today, it feels like subscription-based models have taken over the commerce world, and with that, taken the rights to our purchases. From printers that limit the amount of pages you can print unless you pay a monthly fee, to Kindle's ability of revoking ebooks you've already bought. The age of ownership is rapidly fading. And as for Gen Z, well, these digital natives who were raised in a world where access outweighed ownership, they're now paying the ultimate price, the loss of personal property. In this new reality,
I can't. But you guys know where I'm going with this. It's very sad. It's unfortunate. Because people need to understand the power in ownership, the power in like owning land, owning property. And the people who understand this over the next 4 years is going to be insane, right? That's why I said that lady got to be a robot. Is they playing with us? What people will be going through over the next 4 years is a lot of people just being upset with Trump over this. And did you hear the news? Did you hear what they said and protest? And I'm like, please don't get lost in that. Please don't get lost in that because there's a lot going on right now. Let me see if I can pull it. Let me see if I can find it. So this is one of the interviews I was on. Super fun.
Streaming, right? Maybe on your YouTube channel, or just kind of creating a format that people could like. I mean, Kim Ballum.
Like I usually take a 2-week break off and craft it. What I'm going to do for the year, but this year, unfortunately, I had the flu for the first time ever. It was what I've learned for 10 years in a row. January to March, New year, new me. People are willing to listen. They're open, their ears open. They're shaking off the rest of the winter. They're like, I gotta do some new stuff, right? April, May, June, I'm getting shaky. I didn't get to do the first quarter like I wanted, but I'm willing to listen, okay? Now, here's the kicker. Prepare yourself. July, August, they're checked out. Now, not all of them, but a majority of them are like, the kids, what am I doing with the kids? Where am I taking the kids? Where am I feeding the kids? What are we doing for summer break? I'm exhausted. And I tell you, like clockwork, August 25th, when the kids go back to school, from August 25th to basically December at the end of the year, your business pops back alive because they realize, oh my God, Christmas is coming up. Thanksgiving is coming up. Halloween's coming up. I got to get serious. Let me get serious for the fall. The kids are back. They're back on schedule. I'm going to get back on schedule. You know what? I want to start that thing. Let me start it. And it's any of those seasons are perfect for you to start in your business. Any of those seasons, no matter what you want to talk about. If you want to talk about in the new year, new me, you can catch them there. You want to talk about, hey, first quarter we messed up. No problem. Let's keep it going. The summertime, hey, I'm at the beach. Are you? Me too, girl. I'm going to relax. I'll see y'all next week. Or if you're interested, go check out the 5-day challenge while you're on your vacation, right? Then you hit them in October. Hey, listen, I know you're ready for pumpkin spice. I know you're about to be checked out. I know you're ready for your uncles to come over, eat up all your out of house and home. Right. But let me tell you about the 5-day challenge, right? Let me tell you before you check out, let me show you how to get some discounts from Hobby Lobby from some videos I ran, right? Something to that nature. And just remember, if you don't remember nothing else I said, please rewind and watch that part because people operate every year. I get emails. Dave, you won't believe. I'll get emails. It'll be, okay, the kids are back in school. I'm ready, Erica. Where's the live webinar? I missed it. I'll be like, that webinar is gone. We did it that day. That was in May. Well, I'll pay for the replay. I'll pay for the replay. Where's the replay? And so I've learned that now after all these years in business. So I plan my schedule accordingly. That's why I spend my summers with my family and my nieces and nephews and my mom, because I know I'm going to remember that. They're going to remember that. And you got to remember the seasons. Now, number 2 is, I know you don't think it, but record it. Take pictures. The number one thing I hear from everybody who's ever lost a parent, I lost my father and my grandmother 6 months back to back on my senior year of college. And to this day, we search for pictures. We're like, do you have any pictures? Do you have any video? Is there anything? And we'll have some random cousin or a relative go, hey, I found this random picture. And every time you have those, grab them and take them. Like, take lots of photos. I know in our society, people think we take too many photos, but I mean, take a photo and print it out. Because I know countless friends from high school and college who they lost their parents and they have 3 photos. And so the little videos that we ask people to record of themselves, the 6 second, the 5 seconds of them doing anything or hanging out with their kids, you guys, it's priceless. It's gold. You can always use it. You can always write over it. You can always put something over the screen. You don't have to show. Boom. Let's stop. Anyway, that was me on an interview. Your kids' faces. And long story short, I'll be on a bunch and I'll share some of them on the paid wall. But yeah, subscription models are kind of crazy at this point. But that's why I tell you, if you put a lot of your videos like I do on YouTube, you're going to have to download some of those. You're going to have to put them on some of those 1 terabytes. You're going to have to stop by Best Buy and grab them. Because if not, I know people who've lost whole channels with hundreds of videos, hundreds of data they'll never get back. Stuff they'll, this one guy was kind of pleading with YouTube to please return his data because it's the only videos he have his children as babies. And I'm like, why are your children as babies on YouTube? But you know what I mean? That's just what people do. That's what people do. And so I would kind of encourage you in this whole subscription model you're seeing out here to download some things, keep them for yourself. Imagine buying an 80K car and you can't even use all the features. Tesla, right? If you, ludicrous mode, long driving ranges, all kind of stuff. Also, cars that have fully digital will probably become unfixable, forcing you to upgrade. I'm having that issue in one of my vehicles where it keeps resetting the computer on there. And I'm like, oh no, that means I'm gonna have to take you to the shop. Cars with fully, dispatch. Okay, so I see your questions. But yeah, that's what I got from y'all. That's what I got for today. I hope this was useful. I hope this was helpful. You guys just have to be prepared. You just have to kind of be ready. What's coming around out here. But you're going to see people who make a choice. They're going to probably go to school. They're probably going to hide out. They're going to go, hey, the economy's bad. I'm out of here. Right. So would you say, Erica, let us know if any of them will be crossing live so we can come support you. I appreciate it for sure. For sure. That was live. It was on Facebook, but I didn't have the link beforehand. So they put it in their group, but then they put it on YouTube. So it was pretty fun. It was good to do. I'm sure there are some that want housing and even water to be subscription based. Yeah, and they're gonna make some money, right? There's a lot of people right now talking about making renting by the room. And people are like, oh, that's great. I only need a room. I only need to rent a room. And I'm like, yeah, but we don't want nationwide people renting rooms. We want people to be able to afford, afford some type of housing. You know what I mean? We want people to afford to live somewhere and it's their place. If they don't want to share, we don't want to make them share. But just be on the lookout for some of this stuff. You'll see a lot of this coming through. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Drop one in the comments on the way out. And you guys leave me some beautiful likes as you go out the door. It's not yet and dog. I'll do a big official drop, I think, this Friday. So we'll make sure everything's nice and complete and ready to go. And then we'll do a big drop on Friday. So I look forward to talking to all of you guys. Enjoy the week.
This is David W. Williams, and I'm giving a testimony to Erica Williams and her team. Because of the advertising relationship that we were able to develop, my company had the best month in the month of November for the whole year of 2024. And I'm talking about our sales were 3 or 4 times any other month during that particular year. And I know it's because of the relationship that I had with Erica and how she worked with me as an advertising partner. So now here's the benefit of working with her and her team. She's going to communicate to you what you're going to get as a result of working with her. She's going to over deliver on her value that she's providing, right? And she's not going to do a one-off deal. She's going to really invest in your success because she's really invested in making sure that you're going to get a success story from working with her as an advertising partner. So if you're looking to drive more sales, you're looking to bring in more leads, and you're also looking to get more exposure to what you're doing, you want to reach out to Erica and ask her, can I advertise with you?